Kobayashi Issa, was a Japanese poet and lay Buddhist priest of the Jōdo Shinshū sect known for his haiku poems and journals. He is better known as simply Issa, a pen name meaning cup of tea. He is regarded as one of the four haiku masters in Japan, along with Bashō, Buson and Shiki, the Great Four, Bashō, Buson, Issa, Shiki. Reflecting the popularity and interest in Issa as man and poet, Japanese books on Issa outnumber those on Buson, and almost equal in number those on Bashō. Life: Issa was born and registered as Kobayashi Nobuyuki, with a childhood name of Kobayashi Yutara, the first son of a farmer family of Kashiwabara, now part of Shinano-maki, Shinano Province. Issa endured the loss of his mother, who died when he was 3. Her death was the first of numerous difficulties young Issa suffered. He was cared for by his grandmother, who doted on him, but his life changed again when his father remarried 5 years later. Issa's half-brother was born 2 years later, and when his grandmother died when he was 14, Issa felt estranged in his own house, a lonely, moody child who preferred to wander the fields. His attitude did not please his stepmother, who, according to Lewis Mackenzie, was a tough-fibred managing woman of hard-working peasant stock. He was sent to Edo by his father 1 year later to eke out a living. Nothing of the next 10 years of his life is known for certain. His name was associated with Kobayashi Chikiwa of the Narakuan haiku school, but their relationship is not clear. During the following years, he wandered through Japan and fought over his inheritance with his stepmother. He wrote a diary, now called Last Days of Issa's Father. After years of legal wrangles, Issa managed to secure rights to half of the property his father left. He returned to his native village at the age of 49 and soon took a wife, Kiku. After a brief period of bliss, tragedy returned. The couple's firstborn child died shortly after his birth. A daughter died less than 2.5 years later, inspiring Issa to write this haiku. EO squared a registered trademark AAO squared a registered trademark AAO per mil age hormoia per mil, Tsuya no yo Watsuya no yo negra sari negra, this dewdrop world, is a dewdrop world, and yet. Issa married twice more late in his life, and through it all he produced a huge body of work. A third child died in 1820 and then Kiku fell ill and also died in 1823. Ikinokori Akinokori Tarusa Musakana, outliving them, outliving them all, the cold. This was written when Issa's wife died, he being 61. As a big fire swept the post station of Kashiwabara on July 24, 1827, according to the Western calendar, Issa lost his house and had to live in his storehouse, which is still kept in the town. The fleas have fled from the burning house, and have taken refuge with me here, says Issa. Of this same fire, he wrote also, Hokarabu moa mazeba iahea kawahea if you leave so much as a firefly's glimmer, good Lord. Good heavens. He died on November 19, 1827, in his native village. According to the old Japanese calendar, he died on the 19th day of 11th month, 10th year of the Bunsei era. Since the 10th year of Bunsei roughly corresponds with 1827, many sources list this as his year of death. Writings and drawings: Issa wrote over 20,000 haiku, which have won him readers up to the present day. Though his works were popular, he suffered great monetary instability. Despite a multitude of personal trials, his poetry reflects a childlike simplicity, making liberal use of local dialects and conversational phrases, and including many verses on plants and the lower creatures. Issa wrote 54 haiku on the snail, 15 on the toad, nearly 200 on frogs, about 230 on the firefly, more than 150 on the mosquito, 90 on flies, over 100 on fleas and nearly 90 on the cicada, making a total of about 1,000 verses on such creatures. By contrast, Basho's verses are comparatively few in number, about 2,000 in all. Issa, with his intense personality and vital language, and shockingly impassioned verse, is usually considered a most conspicuous heretic to the orthodox Bashō tradition. Nevertheless, in that poetry and life were one in him. And poetry was a diary of his heart, It is at least arguable that Issa could more truly be said to be Bashō's heir than most of the haiku poets of the 19th century. Issa's works also include haibans such as Aragaharu and Shichiban Nikki, and he collaborated on more than 250 ranku. Issa was also known for his drawings, generally accompanying haiku. The Buddhism of the haiku contrasts with the Zen of the sketch. His approach has been described as similar to that of Sengai. Issa's sketches are valued for the extremity of their abbreviation, in keeping with the idea of haiku as a simplification of certain types of experience. One of Issa's haiku, as translated by R. H. Blythe, appears in J. D. Salinger's 1961 novel, Franny and Zooey, "Oh snail, climb Mount Fuji, but slowly, slowly." The same poem, in Russian translation, served as an epigraph for a novel Snail on the Slope by Arkady Boris Strugatsky, also providing the novel's title. Another, translated by D. T. Suzuki, was written during a period of Issa's life when he was penniless and deep in debt. It reads, "Trusting the Buddha, good and bad, I bid farewell, to the departing year." Another, translated by Peter Beilenson with Harry Ben, reads, "Everything I touch, with tenderness, alas, pricks like a bramble." Issa's most popular and commonly known tome, titled The Spring of My Life, is autobiographical in content, and its structure combines prose and haiku. References: Bostock, Janice M. Nobuyuki Kobayashi Issa, 1763–1827. Yellow Moon, pages 33–34. Isna 1328–9047 Hamiel, Sam, Trans The Spring of My Life and Selected Haiku, Kobayashi Issa. Shambhala Publications. ISBN A1-57062-144-6. Lanu, David G. Pure Land Haiku, The Art of Priestessa. Buddhist Books International. ISBN A0-914910-53-1. Mackenzie, Louis, trans. 1957. The Autumn Wind, a selection from the poems of Issa. Kodansha International. ISBN A0-87011-657-6. Suzuki, Dai Zetsuti Buddha of Infinite Light, The Teachings of Shin Buddhism, The Japanese Way of Wisdom and Compassion. Shambhala. New Ed edition. ISBN A1-57062-456-9. Ueda, Makoto. Dew on the Grass, The Life and Poetry of Kobayashi Issa. Brill. ISBN A90-04-13723-8. Further reading, Bickerton, Max. Issa's Life and Poetry. Transactions of the Asiatic Society of Japan. Ser. 2, Volume 9, pages 110–154. ISNA 0913-4271. Lanu, David G. Master Bashō, Master Buson. And Then There's Issa. Simply Haiku, a quarterly journal of Japanese short-form poetry. 3, section features, interviews and essays. ISNA 1545-4355. Hislop, Scott. The Evening Banter of Tu Tanuki, Reading the Tobai Rose Sequence. Early Modern Japan, an interdisciplinary journal, 11, pages 22–31. ISNA 1940-7947. Notes. External links. Haiku of Kobayashi Issa. A searchable online archive of some 10,000 Issa haiku, translated by David G. Lanu, the Kobayashi Issa Museum. Issa's 1818 Self-Portrait, Japanese, a EO paragraph. C. Unregistered trademark Epsilon 3, Japanese, a EO paragraph. A registered trademark A cube de gamma florin. A florin 1/4 AA florin. Unregistered trademark A florin 1/4 A to the first some 21,000 haiku of Issa, English, Issa Memorial Museum, official English site, English and Japanese, Issa's haiku homepage.